Iran slams Israel over Gaza child deaths, calls for accountability. Iran has strongly condemned Israel's military actions in Gaza, accusing it of perpetrating war crimes against Palestinian civilians, including the deaths of children. Esmail Baghaei, Iran's foreign ministry spokesman, took to social media to denounce what he described as Israel's relentless brutal bombardment and cruel starvation of Palestinians. Baghaei further labeled these actions as heinous acts of war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide under international law. In his statement, Baghaei called for accountability, asserting that Israel, along with those who support its actions, must be held responsible for the atrocities committed in Gaza. The Iranian government has been vocal in its condemnation of Israel throughout the ongoing Gaza conflict, aligning itself with Palestinian factions and neighboring Arab states. Iran's support for Palestinian resistance groups such as Hamas and Islamic Jihad has long been a point of contention with Israel and the West. Baghaei's comments come amid a continued Israeli offensive in Gaza, which has resulted in thousands of Palestinian casualties. The violence has intensified in recent weeks, with no signs of an imminent ceasefire or peace negotiations. The international community remains divided on the issue, with some nations calling for an immediate end to hostilities and others backing Israel's right to defend itself against what it calls terrorism from Gaza-based militants. At least 50 killed in relentless Israeli strikes across Gaza. The deadly toll from Israeli airstrikes in Gaza continued to rise, with at least 50 Palestinians reported dead since dawn on Friday. According to Al Jazeera, the majority of the casualties were in Gaza City and the northern regions, though multiple areas throughout the enclave, including Younis and Rafah in the south, have also been heavily bombarded. The Israeli airstrikes, which have targeted residential buildings, civilian infrastructure, and alleged Hamas sites, have raised concerns about the indiscriminate nature of the violence, particularly as the civilian death toll mounts. In Khan Younis, southern Gaza, Israeli artillery fire struck the Chizon Rashwan area, killing at least one person and injuring several others. This attack further underscores the ongoing devastation as the violence continues without a clear end in sight. The encampments, a portrait of a protest for Palestine that moved America. On the morning of April 17, 2024, hundreds of students gathered at Columbia University in New York City to set up a symbolic protest for Palestine. The students, inspired by anti-Vietnam War protests from the 1960s, created what they called the Liberated Zone, a series of tents pitched on the campus quad. The protest was a demand for the university to disclose its investments in companies profiting from the Israeli occupation of Palestine and to divest from these companies. The protest quickly garnered attention from both local and national media, thrusting Columbia University into the heart of the debate over Palestine and Israel. University administrators condemned the actions, arguing that the protest was disruptive to the campus's academic environment. The university swiftly moved to shut down the demonstration, with police in riot gear arriving on campus by the evening of April 18th to clear the tents. Despite the administrative opposition, the protest has been hailed by supporters as a powerful moment of student activism, one that reflects the growing sense of urgency and activism surrounding the Palestinian cause in the United States. The protest at Columbia University has already become a symbolic moment, representing the broader movement for Palestinian rights, even as it highlights the divisions in American public opinion over the issue.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the videos.